Tony Gonzalez,
Yep,
Kansas City
I
Chief.
thought you were going to say him first. So I mean,
Well, I mean, we're
I
going in the
can't
order
believe you
here
went
of the
with the. I
greatest.
can't believe you went with. You're going with the greatest. Oh, okay. Me and you have a fight anyway, saying Gronk is better than Tony Gonzalez. Tony
Well,
G's my guy. Tony G's my
I love
guy.
Tony Gonzalez. Zero championships.
Welcome back to another episode of the Kingdom Korner. We are your host. I'm Andrew, and with me as always, my great friend, Mr. Dale Baker. Man, how are we doing today on this Red
Man,
Friday?
Red Friday, hopefully to celebrate a Victory Tuesday. So that's
That's
how
right.
that's how we're doing. So it's good. It's good. Football weather is finally here in the Midwest. It's cold in the nights, cold in the mornings. It's 50 degrees right here in Maryville, and so we're fired up for a little Friday night lights and to see our Chiefs on a Monday night. A
That's
prime
right.
time again, a prime time game once again.
That's right. I mean, I don't know if you remember, I'm sure you do.
Yeah,
There were many years where we didn't have any primetime games, or at least it didn't seem
yeah,
like any, and now we don't even hardly play in the 12 o'clock window anymore. So it's what a change of events for the Chiefs here.
right.
So, but hey, this week we're going to be playing, as Dale pointed out, on Monday Night Football against the Washington Commanders. I got to be careful with that name because I always want to
Yep,
say the other name that they had
right.
before that. But Washington Commanders coming in at 3-4. They've lost two of their last four, and the Chiefs are coming in on a little bit of a win streak here at 4-3. And so we're going to be breaking down this game for us and just talking about, hey, is Mahomes, is he forcing the ball a little too much? I mean, I know he got away with it in some games, but is he forcing it? Is the Commanders' defense, are they just going to let us run over them like the Raiders' defense did? Or can the Raiders, not Raiders, the Commanders' offense,
Yeah,
can they do anything with all these injuries they got? And can the Chiefs' defense, can they repeat this performance? So, and all this and many, many more great things are coming up. So, stick around, hang out with us, but let's jump into the Chiefs' offense to start with. So, as I just kind of alluded to there, Dale, do you think the Chiefs and Mahomes specifically, is he forcing the ball a little much? And I say that, I'll give you the context of which I'm
yeah.
thinking.
Give it.
Remember the Raiders game? He had one pass, maybe even two, that should have been intercepted. I mean, one was right there in the defender's hand, and if it was basically anybody else on the field, they probably would have caught the ball, except for the one guy who was there. And I understand he's a defensive lineman and they don't catch it, but that ball was just floating in front of him, and all he had to do
Oh
is
yeah,
basically pull his arms to his chest and he would have caught it. And
yeah.
and so games like that, and I'll say this, that was the same pick that happened, same type of pick that happened against the Jaguars that end up in the pick six, where the
Mhm.
D lineman just dropped back at the last second. So all that to say is Mahomes forcing the ball in there a little bit too much.
Yeah, I think and maybe not forcing, but maybe getting fooled on a couple plays. Like you said, dropping back a defensive lineman, you're not expecting that as a quarterback. I mean, those defensive linemen get paid to come and get you. And so maybe fooled. Maybe they fooled him, but I think fool him twice. He's going to figure it out. And he's going to be watching for that and hopefully put a stop to putting the ball in harm's way. But I mean, like the run Pat is on right now is fantastic. I mean, just with as many touchdowns as he has and few picks. I mean, he is going on a rate that is going to be probably one of his best years ever. Besides that first year he played for the Kansas City Chiefs or started the first year he started, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and even beyond that, there's some other plays that, I mean, he is threading it into windows. And maybe it's just me as
Yeah.
someone who doesn't have that kind of talent. I'm like, man, he got that in there, but man, what a lucky throw. Maybe I should just sit back and say, you know what? It's not luck. That's just talent that this man's
Yeah.
got at
There
this
you go.
point. So, but I always try to be a realistic fan a little bit. I know
Right.
I'm still
Sure.
biased to not even a little bit, a lot. I'm a lot biased being a Chiefs fan for as long as I have been, but I try to be a little bit realistic, and some of those just seem like he's just getting away with it
Oh
almost.
yeah. Yeah, there was a couple passes in the Lions game where I thought he threw one to Travis Kelce that like it was just a perfect spot. I mean, like there's no way.
Yeah.
Like, if it was a little further to the left, it would have been intercepted or batted down. And then there was another one I think in the Lions game where he threw to Juju, and it was like, how did he get the ball through there? And
Yeah.
it was
That's the
just,
one I was thinking of.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was just, it's been pretty impressive. But yeah, we're gonna trust Pat. I think you got to risk sometimes just to move the ball down the field. But yeah, I think it's going to open up quite a bit with how many weapons he has. I think it's going to be now, especially at his age, and how many years he's played in the NFL, not his age, but how many years he's played in the NFL. He's going to be able to go through his progressions and just find the open guy. I think that's going to be what Pat's going to be ended up doing, and he's trusting that offensive line, which will be interesting to see on Monday night who plays, who doesn't play. So.
Yeah, well, and even against the Raiders, and maybe it's just because it was the Raiders and Max
Mhm.
Crosby wasn't in there, but Mahomes trusted his line for the whole game, even when the subs came in
Yeah.
for Trey Smith and all the other injuries that they were having that game. It seemed like he was still trusting them.
Right.
And when Mahomes trusts his line, he is a very different player and much
Right.
better at that.
Oh yeah.
And so, and he's good even when he doesn't trust them, but he's
Right.
better when he does.
Yeah.
And that's what we're seeing right now is the best Mahomes who's trusting his offensive line. And there's even a pass this last week against the Raiders that, if you remember, it was tipped up and somehow
Yeah.
it still went to Juju and he still caught it. So I'm still going to trust Pat and all that and that he's going to do those things, but we have to just acknowledge that
Right.
the defenses that we're going to play are seeing that same film that we're seeing and they're watching it more closely anyways. And they say, okay, this is what's fooling him. We can get him.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because we're going to play some teams who are better than the Raiders, and no shade meant to be thrown at the Raiders, but they're just not one of the better teams. We're going to be playing teams with much better players in those positions who will be able to make those catches.
Yeah.
So we're going to see what happens. But continuing with the offense here, Travis Kelce only needs one more touchdown to become the fifth tight end in NFL history with 80 or more touchdown catches. So
Okay.
can you name the other four tight ends in NFL history? They're all big names, so you should get them.
Okay. So I should get him.
You should.
All right. Gronk.
Yep, that's one of them.
Let's see. Tony Gonzalez.
Yep,
Can't see
I
Chief.
thought you were going to say him first.
Well, I mean, we're going
I
in the
can't
order
believe you
here
went
of the
with the. I
greatest.
can't believe you went with. You're going with the greatest. Okay, me and you have a fight anyway. Saying Gronk is better than Tony Gonzalez. Tony
Well,
G's my guy.
uh,
Tony G's my
I
guy.
love Tony Gonzalez, but zero championships, and he left for the Atlanta Falcons to go ring chasing, which I don't blame him. But and then to lose to Gronk
Wait,
on that field,
is it Tony Gonzalez's fault that they didn't win a championship?
no,
Exactly. So how can
no.
you blame a guy for not winning a championship when he was
I don't
probably
know.
the best player on the field?
Well, that's the best. Julio
That,
Jones, I think, was on that team.
oh, well, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about even with the Chiefs though
Oh
too.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, dude. Tony Gonzalez gave us hope for so long. Anyway, so Tony
Yeah.
Gonzalez, and then
Gronk and two more.
Antonio Gates,
Yep, that's one. One more is
and
a
Shannon
little more.
Sharp.
No, not
No,
Shannon
more
Sharp. He's
recent.
a little more recent. I don't believe he's playing
Oh,
anymore, but it's more
oh
recent.
man, not Aaron Hernandez.
No, no, he's a guy who played with the Saints for most of his career.
Oh, is his name Graham?
Yep, Jimmy Graham. You got
Jimmy
it.
Graham. There you go. All right,
Yep.
yeah. So
All
I
right.
forgot about him, man. What a player.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah,
He's good. So yeah, so Travis Kelce can join that elite group of tight ends with 80
yeah.
uh, touchdown receptions if he gets one more, either this game or any other game. So,
Okay.
uh, but the Chiefs O line, as you kind of alluded to a second ago, that's the big question going into this
Yeah,
game. I mean, Trey Smith hasn't been practicing all week. Josh Simmons still hasn't been practicing. And luckily for the left tackle position, Jalen Moore's been playing lights out. I
yeah,
mean, he's been doing fantastic. And so it's just that real question mark of, who's going to, well, and even remember Kingsley Suman-Tua even got hurt in that game, but he has been practicing all week. I don't even think he is listed on the injury report, if I'm not mistaken. But
I didn't remember seeing his name.
no, he's not on the injury report, so
Okay.
he must be good to go then, whatever it was. But that Trey Smith position and him specifically,
Right.
is he going to be able to play? So he hasn't been practicing all week with his back problems, and so that's going to be a
Yeah.
big hole if he's not able to play.
Right. And I think Caliendo did a great job coming in and filling in. And so hopefully, I mean, I think that's what Veach has done real well this year is having depth at a lot of different positions. And so I think we'll be all right. But yeah, definitely don't, you want 6'4" in there if you can, or 6'4". Yeah.
Yeah,
Trey Smith in the game because he is
oh,
such a
six
different maker.
6'5" too.
Six
There you
five. Yeah, sorry. I thought it was 6'5". Anyway, so when I said 6'4", I knew that was wrong. 6'5",
Yeah,
Trey Smith, you want him in the game because he is just a people mover. I mean, he just
yeah,
moves people. And so That's going to be a big loss, but I think Caliendo is there and can fill in. And I would assume Jalen Moore is going to play just because Josh Smith, we haven't heard anything. And I didn't know. I mean, like, obviously, we were thinking about him and praying for him and his family. And this is a situation that's going on. But do the Chiefs eventually have to put him, maybe not on IR, but like if you miss, don't you have to put him on some kind of list if you miss more than 4 games or if you're coming to that point? Because I doubt he would play. Even if he came back today, I doubt he'd play Monday night because he hasn't been practicing for the last 2 weeks.
I don't know if you have to, according to the rules, or not.
Okay,
If that is a rule, I'm going to say that's just a silly rule because what
for
team is
sure.
going to say, sure, you don't have to put him on that report and still keep him as one of your 53 men roster beat
Right.
guys. So I don't know if that's a rule or not, but if nothing else, they might just put him on the pup list, the physically
Yeah.
unable to perform list,
Yeah.
which is not always due to injury. It could be other things
Yeah.
for that list too. So, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But that's a big question mark because that's something we have to watch for this game is can that offensive line, especially if Trey Smith is not in there, are they going to be able
Yeah.
to hold up against this Washington Commanders defense who historically their defense has been solid for years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
They may not quite be where they have been this year, where they've been in the
Right.
past, but they still got a lot of good players over there,
Oh, yeah.
including one of your favorite players, Von Miller, is
Von
playing with the
Miller,
Washington
my guy. There you
Commanders this year.
go.
Yeah. So
Uh,
let me ask you this: is the Chiefs' offense that they had last week against the Raiders and even the previous 2 weeks where they've been scoring 28 or more points for 3 straight games, is that sustainable for this season, or is it just because of the competition we've been playing?
I think it's the new standard for the Chiefs at this point, just because of who they have and where they're going. I don't think. I mean, we know that defenses have gotten better and they kind of catch up, but I think this offense that the Chiefs have is. I mean, every guy, like you mentioned it earlier, he trusts every guy from Noah Gray to Travis Kelce to Worthy, Thornton, even Thornton. We've talked about that at length here on this podcast with the fact that like Thornton in those early games where he got to Pat trust all these guys, and so I don't think there's like a
Yeah.
moment, like a second thought, like oh, I better not make that throw. He's like, hey, I'm going to throw it up there. And I'm going to make the most of it. So I think like all those weapons that he has, I think they're just going to move the ball. They're going to control the ball and move it. And we've seen where they'll go on 4 play drives to 16 play drives, and it's just been beautiful to watch.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be the new standard around here. I think it is sustainable. I'm not going to say they're going to score 40 points every game, but I think
Why not?
with the
Why
players they
not?
got, well, I'm not saying that they're not going to score 40, but every game,
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
there's some good defenses out there too. So,
There's.
but I do think it's sustainable that they're at least going to be one of the top offenses in the NFL. I think I even made a prediction before the year
Mhm.
started and go back look that they would be a top 5 offense in the NFL.
You
In the
did.
first few weeks, that didn't look too hot, but it's starting to look like a lot better prediction at this point. So,
Oh
but
yeah, I think they're
yeah,
number 2 in everything. Like, yeah, everything, every offensive statistic right now, and that's what we count, including those 2 games where they were terrible, not
all
terrible, not good.
all right. Well, we're gonna find out how good they really are. So, all right. So, how about this Commanders defense? So they gave
Okay,
up 37 points to the Dallas Cowboys last week. They given up
yeah,
24 or more points in the past 5 of their 7 games. And no one is giving up more yards per attempt on passes than the Commanders defense at over 8 yards per pass attempt. And their biggest issue on defense right now is last week they lost their best defensive pass rusher, Dorrance Armstrong, to a season ending injury. So that is
man,
a big loss for them.
yeah, huge loss, and yeah, I really don't think. I know a lot of people are pointing at Jaden Daniels as the reason why they're not winning, but yeah, I think that defense. There's something wrong with that defense. They're just not the same as they were last year because they were dominant, and with Bobby Wagner there in the middle of the field, kind of coaching everybody, they were really really good and stifling. But now it seems like man, they can't stop the leak. It's just pouring in too, and so yeah. But I mean, someone on this podcast said Dallas was a really good offense, and it looks like they are a really good offense. I mean, Dak Prescott maybe having an MVP year right now, and
Hey, I appreciate giving me that shout out. I appreciate that.
But no,
All
yeah, I
right,
think
maybe it
like
wasn't me.
yeah, Dak is slinging the ball around and looks really really good. And so I think yeah, I think everybody in the world would put Patrick Mahomes over Dak Prescott unless you live in the Dallas Fort Worth area. And so
Yes.
and even then someone might pick him because he's a Dallas kid or a Texas kid. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I definitely think it would be it's pretty interesting to see this defense. And Dan Quinn, the head coach for the Commanders, he's a defensive guy, so I'm sure he's been in the lab and trying to figure out, okay, how can we slow down this Kansas City offense? Which good luck, bud.
Yeah, no joke there. So the Washington Commanders, even with the amount of injuries that they've had,
Yeah.
and especially on the offensive side, they've had lots of injuries over there. Last week they didn't have their top two wide receivers in Debo Samuel, who they got this year from the 49ers, as well as uh, McLaurin. They're
Gary Terry.
yeah,
Terry McLaurin. Yeah, Scary
Terry
Terry.
McLaurin, their best wide receiver. They didn't have either one of those two last week due to injury. And even so, I know they lost last week to the Cowboys and by a big margin, but even so, they're still averaging almost 26 points a game, which is top 10 in the league. So um, they have the ability to put up points. And part of
Mhm.
it's going to be is Jaden Daniels going to play or is Marcus Mariota going to be in there? And we were talking earlier, but we probably all remember the last time Marcus Mariota was playing in Arrowhead Stadium.
Oh yeah, the pass to himself.
Yeah, I mean, that is still one of the most infuriating games I've ever watched as a fan. I mean, that's the year we had a guy who most people forget even played for the Chiefs because towards the end of his career, but Darrell Revis, right? Revis
Yeah.
Island playing for the Chiefs for that year. And if I remember, I think they even traded for him in the middle of the season. But anyways, and he is playing, and Marcus Mariota in that playoff game is running towards the end zone and is trying to loft it up over Reeves to a guy. Reeves jumps up and bats it down like you're taught to do. Unfortunately, Mariota was so close to that position that he just caught it and ran in himself. It just, oh man. And then just go ask Derek Johnson how he feels about the forward progress rule and
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
tell me that the Chiefs are favored.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a little quick whistle. But Marcus Mariota's got some. I mean, we saw him in that Netflix documentary, quarterbacks with Pat and Kirk Cousins, and poor Marcus Mariota has bounced around from the league, from the Falcons to now the Commanders, finding a backup role, and so he definitely is. I mean, I remember him playing in Oregon and doing really really well with Chip Kelly up there. And so, yeah, I think he's a pro, and I think the Chiefs will have to be ready because he's dangerous with. I mean, probably not as fast as he used to be with his legs, but definitely is a weapon that he likes to use. And then he can't make all the throws that an NFL player or NFL quarterback should make.
Yeah, he definitely has the ability to do that. So it's something we have to watch out for and be aware of. And so Marcus Mariota and Jaden Daniels are both running style quarterbacks as well. And so
Hmm.
these are quarterbacks that we're going to have to actually watch out for and not just assume that we're going to have it all figured out.
Right,
And this is something that the Chiefs defense has even struggled with in the past is containing the quarterback. And we talked about that even with Lamar Jackson earlier this year, and how surprised we were that Lamar Jackson didn't try to run it more.
right.
But maybe it's just due to how the Chiefs were playing that game or whatever. But either way, whoever is playing quarterback this week for the Commanders, the Chiefs have got to be able to contain them and keep them in check.
Right. I mean, you could argue that three of our losses is because we couldn't contain the quarterback. I mean, Justin Herbert with the late
Yeah.
run. You had Trevor Lawrence running all over the place, and obviously Jalen Hurts uses his legs a bunch. And so, just because the Chiefs couldn't contain or properly run their assignment on what they were supposed to do, so
Yeah. Yeah. So that's something to watch out for. But you also might point out that the Commanders have arguably the best left tackle in the league this year in Laramie Tunsil, right?
mhm.
So I don't remember if this is first year with them or maybe his second year, but he was playing with the Houston Texans prior, and that guy has allowed 0 sacks so far this season, which is not good for us going in as the Chiefs defense, who's already struggling to get sacks. And
Right.
it's the whole argument is what is better for a defense, pressures or sacks?
Yeah. I think I. What's better for a defense?
Yeah, I mean, because
Yeah.
sacks,
Sack.
the
Yeah.
play ends right there, but
Right.
sometimes those pressures can create confusion as well. Maybe they can
Yep.
force an interception or whatever it may be, or
Right.
even an incompletion, which
Yeah.
sometimes is just as good as if it's fourth down.
Right. And I like the pressures. I like because I think it gives our guys an opportunity to make a play and it hurries up the quarterback. And I think when you get pressures or even sacks, I think the same thing. But if you're sacking the guy a couple times, I mean that clock just speeds up and that is even better. So yeah, I would say sacks are probably the best because you get a hit the quarterback, and quarterbacks don't like to be hit. I don't think anybody
Yeah,
likes to be hit unless you're Cam Scatterboo. Uh,
yeah.
but but yeah, I just don't think no one wants to be hit. And so yeah, definitely just speed up that clock for those quarterbacks. And so yeah, early, especially early pressure. But it's amazing to see the Chiefs' defensive line and just they and Chris Jones in particular. I mean, year after year, we get frustrated with the defensive line. I'm there with you with the frustration, but it always seems like when they need the pressure, when they need a big play, it seems like that defensive line just shows up, right, and comes
Yeah.
gets a pressure. So it's pretty impressive.
Well, and since the game against the Jaguars, which is the last
Mhm.
game the Chiefs lost, where, we saw Chris Jones standing around and everybody saw it and everybody came down on him for it. Since then, Chris Jones has been playing differently.
Oh yeah,
Right or wrong, to come down on Chris Jones for that play, uh, whatever it is, whether it's just his own personal motivation or coach's motivation or fan motivation, wherever he's getting this motivation from,
right.
he is playing at an all-pro level again the last couple weeks. And so maybe that loss was what some of these defensive players needed in order to actually, step their game up a little bit or to play to the level that they know they're capable of. So one of the big challenges they're going to have this week, though, is stopping the run. The Washington Commanders are arguably the best run team in the NFL. I mean, they are just running all over everybody, and
Yeah.
so the Chiefs have got to do something if they want to uh, stop them from doing that. Because the Washington Commanders, they have the most yards per carry as far as rushes goes in the league, and they are seconds as far as rushing yards per game. And so
Who's first?
the Buffalo Bills are first in rush yards per game.
Hmm.
So I don't
Interesting.
know what you're humming about.
I don't know. I just thought that was
Are-
interesting. I mean, Bills had a bye week, and everyone kind of forgot about the Buffalo Bills even existed in the league. But yeah, I definitely think that we've heard this before, right? The rushing attack, right? We've played Derrick Henry. What do we do to Derrick Henry? We put him on the sideline. We heard about Sonic and Knuckles and how they were going to run all over the Chiefs' defense, and we put him on. Like we made it to where, like, oh, you scored 17 points, and then you look like world beaters against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and everything worked right. But I mean, I think that shows you how good this Kansas City Chiefs team is. Is that, like, man, the defense is humming and the offense is finding its feet finally, and I think they could be better. This could be the best version of the Chiefs besides that 2020, was it 2020? Yeah, 2020
yeah,
season where they won the Super Bowl against the 49ers.
yeah. That wasn't 2020 was the year that they lost to Tampa Bay.
Okay,
So
so 2019.
2019 was the year they won
Yeah.
against the 49ers. So, but all that to say is the teams that we've been able to hold them to, we've won. The teams that we have lost to are teams that
Okay.
have consistently run the ball on us as well. And so, and part of it goes back to the Chiefs' offense. Can the Chiefs' offense get up a couple scores to put the pressure on the other team?
Right.
I mean, that's what happened in that Lions game eventually. I mean,
Yeah.
they were playing us close, and then we kind of double dipped the end of the first quarter and scored again to start the second half.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the Lions kind of feel that little bit of pain, like, uh-oh, this is a
Yeah.
team that's moving, and we're down two scores. We got to start moving, and we can't just run the ball and waste all of the time on the clock. And so, if
Right.
the Chiefs can move the ball like they have been doing and put the pressure on the other team, that is going to work out well for our rush defense because our rush defense is not that good. I know numbers wise, as far as total yards per game, it looks really good, but yards per carry does not look good at all.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm sure that that goose egg and 59 yards for the Raiders is going to really help our defensive statistics.
oh yeah, that whole game is going to help
Yeah.
every statistic that that there is out there for our
Right.
defense.
And I
So
think like one of the strange things I think teams do against the Chiefs, and not to say like Andy Reid's the best game manager clockwise, because I know he had struggles in Philly, and I think what has really changed is Patrick Mahomes. I know and this is the Kansas City Chiefs, not the Patrick Mahomes podcast, but Patrick Mahomes is so good with the ball in his hands late. Like he makes the right decision. I mean, like it seems like
yeah.
every time, and so. Like for the Lions to, and I know we just played the Raiders, but for the Lions to like win the toss and then take the ball first, and I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to prove a point. We're going to go down. We're going to score, but then that leaves you open for the double dip, as you just talked about, like for the Kansas City Chiefs. So they just, I mean, they're so smart when it comes to game management of the clock and like knowing the situations. Like it's just it's a clinic. It's a clinic what the Chiefs are doing right now. And so you want to make sure you want to give the least possessions to Pat and the boys.
So is there ever a time to take the ball first to start the game?
No.
Uh, well,
I think
yes,
if you
there
win the
is.
toss, right? Is there a time?
Yes, if
Okay.
your defense, say you have the worst defense in the league and you have the best offense in the league, you're taking the ball first. Why do you want to give the other team any kind of momentum to start the
Sure.
game? Momentum is a real thing in NFL
Oh
games.
yeah. Yeah,
And
yeah.
so if you give the other team a lot of momentum, like for example, the Lions went on a, almost 10-minute drive to start that game.
Oh
If
yeah.
they would have punched that into the end zone and got a touchdown, do you know how demoralizing it is to like we were just on the field for 10 minutes and still gave up 7 points
Right.
in one possession. That is momentum swinging stuff right there. And the fact that the Chiefs ended up holding them to a field goal, right or wrong, and we're not here to argue that anymore. But
I was
uh,
right.
yeah, it is right. So, but the fact they were able to hold that kind of shifted
Yeah.
the momentum at least a little bit back towards the Chiefs. And so there is a time for sure to take the
Yeah.
ball first if you have an awful defense who can't stop anybody.
Right. That I mean, yeah, I guess you're I'm saying, but if you're playing 1-5, are you ever taking the ball?
Uh, I
So
think
you can kick him the ball and he's going to score, right? I mean I guess that's what you're saying.
or
But
that's what I'm saying though,
yeah,
is
but I
do you
think
want to, if the Chiefs get the ball and they say they score in two plays
right.
or whatever it
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
that's demoralizing for the entire team, not just the other team's
yeah.
defense. And so you
So
you just don't want to give them momentum away. Is what I'm saying is you have to
right.
actually try to keep the momentum on your side as much as possible.
Yeah. And I guess if you're a good offense, yeah, I can see the case. But if you're like a mediocre offense like the Lions, I mean the
Uh,
Kansas City
First off, the mediocre offense with the Lions. I mean,
I mean the
I
Kansas City
I
Chiefs, I mean the
know.
defense is no bums. I mean they could stop you on, 3 and out, and then you're like, "Oh man, that backfired."
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
let's just not say that the Lions are one of the worst defenses in the league or offenses in the league, though. That's
Oh
not.
no! Well, they looked like it. 17 points, not even 100 yards rushing. My goodness, this is a pathetic.
Uh, you can say what you want, Dale, and you can be wrong as many times as you
That's
want to
right.
be wrong.
That's
The
right.
Lions have the number three scoring offense in the NFL. They're averaging over 30 points a game. There's only three teams in the NFL who are doing so.
Yeah, but I mean, just the fact that they scored only 17, only
I, I'm
7.
I'm not saying that the Chiefs don't have a good defense. What I'm saying is
Okay, all right.
your take is ridiculous that the Lions don't have a good offense.
Oh no,
And we're not even
my
we're
take
not
is never take the ball first. I'm always saying in the coin toss, unless it's overtime, even in overtime, you don't want to take the ball first. You want to defer
remember though,
unless yeah.
you have to remember that the Lions defense
Uh-huh.
was down so many players. They were so
Right.
injured. They were going for the same mindset that I was saying, hey, we got to get some points on the board, help our defense out, give them a little
Right.
momentum going onto the field with Mahomes.
There you go.
So I don't know that that was a wrong decision for the Lions based on how many injuries they had on defense.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to fight MCDC. All right. Anyway, back to the Commanders. The
All right.
Commanders,
Is
right?
it the
Sorry.
Lions? All right.
We're
All
talking
right.
about the Lions again.
All right. All
My
right.
bad.
Chiefs defense this year, they are
All right.
giving up 17.7 points a game, which is the third best mark in the league. They've only allowed 17 red zone attempts this year. So
Wow.
that is tied for fifth in the league. So they're keeping people out of the end zones. Like we said all year, they are a bend but not break kind of defense. So this is my question. Is the Chiefs defense really this good, or are they just playing inferior opponents?
Uh, yeah, I think they're making opponents inferior. I think they're breaking the will of the. So, like, I mean, the Ravens, right? Perfect example. They just broke them, and then they went on, a losing streak. And then you look at the Lions. I mean, the Lions are not inferior, right? They are really, really good. I was just joking back there. They are really, really good. And I mean, you just you took them out of their game. You made the Lions play your game, and I think that's where the Chiefs are. They make you play their tempo. They make you play what they want you to do. They trick you into doing what they want you to do, and you think you're winning, but no, you're not really. You're playing right into Spags' hands, and so yeah, I think. Now the Raiders 0 points, right? Yeah, that's tough. Even the Jacksonville Jaguars, they looked good early on. Now they had a tough time in London, but yeah, I think they're a good football team. And then yeah, obviously you have the Chargers.
I think the Jaguars are a mediocre football team. I think they're going to have games they show up for and games that they don't
Yeah,
show up for.
yeah, I think a lot of that's their
These
quarterback.
are the teams that the Chiefs have beat this year. The Giants, and it was the last game that Russell Wilson was the starter
Right,
quarterback. The Ravens, and they were bad going into that game, and then Lamar Jackson got hurt in that game as well.
right,
The Lions, who might be the only good team the Chiefs have actually beat, and then the Raiders, who potentially might be the worst team in the NFL.
right.
And so the Chiefs are good. I'm not saying they're not, but
Hmm.
based on their opponents, not sure you could say that they're necessarily the runaway favorite for the Super Bowl this year. I know
Right,
that by all the odds they are right now, but just based
right,
on their opponents, they got to continue to put some of these wins together. And here in a couple weeks when they play the Bills, that's going to be their biggest test to say, where are we really?
right. And I think and really with the Broncos, I think the next 3 weeks are going to be huge for the Chiefs. Like you
Yeah.
said, the Commanders can really run the ball, and that's been a struggle for the Kansas City Chiefs. So I think, yeah, figuring out the next 3 weeks, and then also even though the Bills' defense is bad right now, Josh Allen is still on that side, and their offense is very
Yeah.
capable of putting up points and keeping up with you. And so, yeah, I think, and then James Cook is just fantastic. I mean, I wish we had James Cook.
Me
And
too.
so, yeah, I think we are going to find out a lot about the Chiefs next 3 weeks and who they are, and as they continue to climb, as soon as they continue to go up. But yeah, I'm not worried. I do think for the defense, and this would be a question for you. Like I think even with Omar Norman Lotz being out for the year, like I
Yeah.
think that puts even more pressure on Veach and the front office there that hey we're going to have to trade for another defensive lineman, or do you think that's crazy?
I was saying before that
Right.
I thought that if they were going to trade, they're going to trade for a defensive lineman, and specifically one on the interior. You know, like trying to think who it is. Colin Sanders. He's plays for
Yeah.
Jacksonville, but if Jacksonville thinks they're going to be in it at the end of the year, they might not be willing to trade. Or a guy like Mike Pennell, who the Chiefs for who I'm still not sure about why they
Yeah.
dropped him, uh, but he's not playing for the Chiefs either right now, and so maybe the Chiefs could potentially trade back for him. I think he's playing for the Packers this year, though,
Okay.
if I remember right, and so
Right.
it's possible they might not want to trade him either now. So
Yeah.
it's just a lot of question marks going in. Anyways, I had question marks about that before the season started, and then with the injury to Omar Norman Lott, it just makes those questions even louder. So.
Right. So do you think it should be like just a role player, or do you want like a big splash in the defensive line?
First off, they're not going to be able to afford the big splash. They don't have the cap space to afford a big splash.
Let's
Sure,
say we let's
I
say
mean,
we
sure.
trade with the
Hey, who doesn't want a big splash? Dale's like, oh yeah, let's just get a role player if we have the opportunity to get a big splash player. I mean, Dale, I don't know what kind of question this is. We should
I'm
not
just
be in here.
saying I'm saying I
Okay, let me
think
ask you: would you rather
all right,
have a big splash player or just a role player?
give me the role player every time. I
Okay,
don't need
come
I
on.
don't need a big head coming into the locker room and ruining the morale of the locker room.
The locker room of the Chiefs is so stable right now. I don't think many
Yeah.
people could buck it. So
Right.
maybe
Yeah.
if Terrell Owens was back in the league, maybe he could. But I mean,
He
I don't
loves
know.
Andy. He loves Andy Reid.
Yeah, but he's one of those guys that if he's not getting the ball, he creates a
Yeah,
big
yeah.
scene too.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
all
Well, I'm
right,
saying
well,
like with not a big splash, but I'm saying like so you got like a Bradley Chubb, right, for the Miami Dolphins, who are like they're drowning and they need picks, and you're like, hey, we will take him and give you picks, but you're gonna pay his salary.
yeah. I mean, that's what they did with DeAndre Hopkins last year. The Titans were
Yeah,
still paying part of his salary. So Yeah,
Right.
I'm not against any player that they think can help the team, no matter if it's a
Right.
big
Right.
splash player or a role player. But if you're just asking me which one do I rather want, I'm going to take the guy who is going to make the big plays over and over and over again.
Bingo. See, that's all I wanted you to say.
That's the big splash player, Dale. That's not even a role player. Come on now. So, all right, keys to the game here. Here's what we
All
got to
right.
do. We have to stop the run, as we pointed out. The
Yeah.
Commanders have one of the best, if not the best, rushing offense in the league. So the Chiefs have got to stop that, and they've not been very good at that. So, in other words, the Chiefs have got to be able to, on offense, move the ball and get ahead to force the Commanders to throw the ball because they have not been very good at throwing the ball this year, no matter who their quarterback has been. And the flip side is no matter who's playing quarterback for the Commanders, whether it's Mariota or Daniels, they got to be able to contain them. They can't allow them to escape and run for lots of yards and beat us that way.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I think the I think Scary Terry and Debo are trending to come back, and so I think
Yeah.
like our corners are going to have to play well because those guys are elite, and then like especially with Debo, he can just make a play if you hand the ball to him in the backfield, and so you got to contain those guys, and the run, and then obviously the offense is the Chiefs offense, and good luck slowing that down.
Yep. All right. This game, I got the Chiefs winning it 34-17. So I got them doubling up the Commanders. I think some of their injuries
Yeah.
and their quarterback problems is going to be a little too much for them to overcome, but I do think that they're going to get some yards on the ground.
All right, 42-13.
42. My goodness. When's the last time the Chiefs have scored over 40? That'd be a good thing to know there. So,
Hey,
all
was it
right.
against the Bears? Anyway,
It
sorry.
might have been. Might have been.
Yeah.
All right. Pick six here. So we both went 5-1 last week. So Dale is sitting at 17-23 overall, and I'm sitting at 23-17 overall.
All right.
So just a few games difference there, 6 game difference. So you got to sweep me at some point in order to catch up, I guess. But
I don't think that's
we'll
gonna
see.
happen.
Yeah, hey, just get a few every week, right? And then you'll catch up. So right now, Chiefs by 12.5. I'll go ahead and take the Chiefs and the points in that one.
Oh yeah, well give me the same. I'm sorry, I got to because my score.
Yeah. All right. Kelce with 3.5 receptions, not yards, receptions.
Oh yeah, give me the over on that. He's getting 4.
I'll take the over too, even though last week he only got 3. Rashee Rice, 67.5 receiving yards. Man, he only had about 57, I think, last week, but I think he's
Yeah.
going to get this week, again, 2 weeks in that. Give me the over.
Give me the under.
All
There's
right.
too many guys on the football field. Only one football.
All right. Chiefs to score 30.5 points.
Yep, give me the over.
I'll take the over as well. So Washington to score 17.5 points.
Give me the under.
All right, I'll take the under as well. And then, hey, it's just based on my score prediction.
I know.
17
All
and a
right.
half. So, and last one here, the potential starting running back this week, Jaconi Crosby Merritt to have 47.5 rushing yards. I'll go ahead and take the under, even though I just said they're probably going to get a lot of rushing yards.
Okay, give me the over. I appreciate that. You give me that.
Yeah, I'll give that one to you at least. So, all right. Okay, last question, really quick. We don't have much time left here, but uh, do you think actually? You know what? We don't even have time to get into this. It's going to take way more than the time we have left. So, hey, we try to get as much into these things as possible, and sometimes
Yeah.
we just run out of time. We want to keep it at a time frame where you will be able to enjoy and listen to this whole thing. So,
Yeah.
hey, but thanks for joining us this episode of the Kingdom Corner. Hey, you know what helps us more than anything? If you comment on these videos and if you like them and share them. But for sure, comment. Tell us what you think, your thoughts. Do you agree, disagree, all those things. Let us know what we got right and what you think we might have got wrong. So, and this episode is brought to you by Oh Hey Threads. And you can get your own super soft tee or hoodie at ohheythreads.com, including your very own Kingdom Korner T-shirt or hoodie as well. So
Yeah.
go check that out and give them a review and get you a super soft tee or hoodie there as well. So we'll see you next time right here in the Kingdom.